The Battles.
By Christiane Agricola. Chapter 10, Lesson 6. Use your environment.
You are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. Napoleon Hill. Today, something devastating happened. Something that reminded me of the future and what is at stake. We were setting up for the show when I felt it. Something was coming. Something bad was on the way. I looked out at the sky and could see it coming our way. A tornado. "Evacuate!" I yelled at the elves. We were lucky we discovered the disaster coming our way early enough to evacuate everyone from the cabins. The crowd was huge, and we had no choice but to go into the caves. Yes, caves. I heard they were built for this purpose. It is a safe haven with beds and a few supplies to last a while. Seeing the people crowded in there, I felt like weeping. I had heard of them from the North Pole, but never took too much interest in them. I felt it was being overrated by the bad forces, another device by them to control the masses. So there we were, thousands of us in the caves put up to withstanding this kind of disaster. The mood was tense as we were all worried about what was happening out there. "It happens once in a while," someone said, starting up a conversation. "I lost my dad to it. He went out to work and didn't come back," a male voice said. "Was it like this before?" someone asked. I wanted to remain in the shadows, but I could not stop myself. I just wanted to comfort them. "Not this bad," I said. "Disasters had always happened, even when humans were not in existence. The Ice Age, the era of the dinosaurs. But humans have contributed to making it worse. In the past, millions of lives were lost to tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods. The environment was damaged, and the climate became unstable. But people had a system in place for being warned. They were prepared and were evacuated in time. How would it be in the future? This is the third one we're having in just this quarter of the year. It has never been this bad," someone said. There were murmurs of speculation as they wondered what was going to happen in the future. I could see they were worried. What if it became a daily occurrence? How would they survive? "We're going to die," someone cried. It turns into a cry that spreads around the cave. Their tears of despair fill me with sadness. No one is dying. That's why we are here, to save the future, to make things better. This all can be stopped if you change your way of life, if you take care of your planet. In the past, some areas never experienced any disaster because of proper planning and caution. They took from and gave back to Mother Nature. They had strict laws that controlled the climate. Pollution was a crime. These are things we need to change. That's why we're here. So be positive. I felt my words touch their minds as the cries of sadness stopped. "Well, at least the Big Five won't know what we're thinking in here," someone joked. There was laughter, and soon enough jokes were being swapped. I know they are still afraid, but at least they are hopeful. I watched the storm unfold from the cave, wiping everything in its way. Our cabins won't survive this, I know. Today, there won't be any show. It took 2 days to get everything back in order to meet again. We lost our cabins in the disaster and had to rebuild them as fast as possible. Many homes were destroyed, and many people lost their lives. We dedicated a few minutes to inform the audience about the disaster and honor the lives of those who fell victim to the catastrophe. The mood is solemn today as we kick into the program of the day. The halls are filled to the brim. I think people have begun to realize the real danger they are facing and need a solution out of the impending danger. How have you used your natural skills more efficiently and gotten better? Is the question we ask the contestants. Desiree is the first to answer. I can see she's better now. She looks stronger and serene, as if she can take on anything. I hope she can move past the issue of last week. I asked myself a question. What makes the difference between a worldwide superstar and just a good singer? At least 1% of perfection will make the difference. between being entirely unknown or being a celebrity. So what's the essence of a successful singer? I thought again. I got clips from the elves and spent the week listening and watching all the greatest singers and musicians of the past. I was wowed by most of the performances. What was the thing that made them legends? There was Mickey Strongleg, who sold 1 million copies in a week. Elizabeth Brown, whose songs have been considered masterpieces of all times. I listened to her music word for word, note for note, and I knew I was hearing glory. The Rocking Wheelers were a group who changed the era of music. These people and so many more stood out. I realized something then. You have to tell a real story. Care about the audience, not about yourself. You have to be willing to give something. To give about life a purpose. You have to fight for a cause, to believe in something. Identify yourself with something. Use the singing as a tool to communicate about the cause and your life purpose. Your inner voice, your strength is more important than your outer voice. I thought I was good until I listened to those legends. Now I have to practice my voice more. I'm looking for perfection, but something I discovered is that a perfect voice doesn't make one a great singer. If you don't have the inner voice, you don't have the soul. I listened to my inner voice. I thought about the important things in my life, my family, people who appreciated me, and women like me. I discovered my own style and created my voice. I know I am strong and have big goals. This is my weapon. I'm still working on my voice to make it pass on my message, a message of love, of hope, and of success. Soon, I will sing a song of hope and of happiness. I sing to my children and my mom now every night, just like she did when I was younger. The bliss I see on their faces lets me know I'm on the right course. So yes, I'm growing. It takes a while for the crowd to calm down their applause for her. Then Ganesh comes up. One day this week, I decided to go through my great-grandfather's things. I know he was a businessman in India. Back then, he had a little commerce with fabrics and clothes, and he was educated. He decided to stay in his homeland, close to his roots. I discovered a book titled The Purple Cow by a man named Seth Godin. I had heard about the holy cow, and also supposed cows to be white, brown, spotted, but never purple. So I was very much intrigued by the color, as well as because I am a painter. I started reading it and could not put it down until I got to the last page. This book is about the keys to success. According to the author, it is to stand out, to be a purple cow in a field of monochrome Holsteins. The idea is not only to do your best, but to become ingenious, to create something that has never been seen. And it would be so remarkable and extraordinary that everybody would wish for it. Let people know that you have something outstanding to offer, something unique, and they will come running to you. Everybody should talk about you. The message should spread from one person to another like a virus until you conquer the world. This book inspired me. It made me know that I am on the right path to the realization of my dreams. I want to make my purple cow. I want to stand out with my artworks and my love for culture. I want to influence the world. Thunderous applause. Esteban is the next contestant to make his presentation. All of my life, I've been a tech guy, trying to make the world a better place. I love doing what I do, and I don't think anything can stop that. So many lives have been lost, and we wish we could get them back. I wish I could get my family back, but fate decided for me. I'm working on a massive project that will change the world, but it is still at the founding stage. I don't want to jinx it by talking too much about it, but soon it will be out. I promise you it is going to be successful. Leona's next, and today she's dressed in a giraffe-patterned ensemble. I read about Noah and the ark, how he picked the animals and got them into an ark when the world was going to be wiped out by the flood. It reminded me of this, the state we're in. I decided then, why don't we recreate these animals? Step by step, we should do so. I don't have much to show today, But I wanted you to know that something big is coming. We're working on formulas that will recreate our beloved animal world. I smile. It seems that everyone is being secretive about their big projects. Well, I hope they blow our minds with them. Ronald's next. He comes on stage with his usual stride, which shows pride. As everyone knows, making money has always been my top goal. And let's just say, I have my hand in many pies. My primary target is a casino, so many people, both wealthy and poor, spend their lives there, thinking they can either hit it big or get richer. I support them. Take the risk. My big project is coming up very fast. It is not going to be ordinary, like the rest of all the others, but rather spectacular. I'm not the richest man yet, but soon I will be. I wish all of them the best of luck. We get to the end, and soon we will see how far everyone has come. But for now, I have another task before me. After a little break, I clap my hands, and then they are all seated again, ready to take notes. I clear my throat and get going on my last topic: how to turn your environment to your advantage. You can get what you want in the future only by focusing all your energies on the constructive use of whatever you are in relation to today. A half-hearted use of the elements in today's environment will be fatal to tomorrow's achievements. Don't wish for today what is beyond your ability. Never accept less than the very best right now, and don't waste energy by desiring what is out of reach here and now. If you always achieve the best you can do today, you will continue to make better and better things, because it is a fundamental principle in the universe that life will continually advance into more life and more and better things. I take a breath. Today is my last lesson. I want it to be unforgettable. This is the law of evolution. But if you are satisfied with less than your very best, you will cease to move forward. Every current achievement, whether in business, domestic, or social connections, must be a stepping stone to what you want in the future. And to accomplish this, you must put into each more than enough life to fill it. There must be what I call surplus power in everything you do. It is the surplus power that causes advancement and gets you what you really want. Where there's no surplus power, there's no progress. I pause again and look at my audience. They are taking notes. Good. Suddenly, Esteban asks, "Do you suggest we should always carry out things better than what is required? Will this produce the surplus power you were talking about?" "Thank you for your question, Esteban." I say, "I will give you an example. Suppose, for instance, you're in business and wish to increase your sales. Simple routine transactions won't be enough for breakthrough. Instead, your work needs to be of excellent quality to make sure that your clients come back to you the next time. Always deliver with the intention that your customer will buy more from you in the future and will refer other clients to you. Always go the extra mile. Ensure that your customers feel like they are the most valued asset you have. The positive feeling that you give a customer is worth far more than any discount or special offer, and will stay in their minds for much longer. Communicate the enthusiasm you have for progressing yourself to your clients, and you will grow together." For the first time, I see Ronald zealously taking notes. Maybe my patience is paying off. I'm pleased. When it comes to business, he's listening carefully. Meanwhile, I watch Leona struggling not to fall asleep. She's been very busy these days, working around the clock on her project, and looks dog-tired. "What if someone wants to take another route? Change his plans for something new?" asks Ganesh. "Interesting." I smile. "Well, if you wish to change your vocation, make your existing position a stepping stone to the one you want. Fill it with life, and the surplus will tend toward what you want." Ganesh nods his head, apparently satisfied with my answer. Now Leona comes up with, "How do you create emotional attachment with other people?" She truly followed my pitch. I pick a comforting voice and say, "Take a vital interest in every person you meet, and sincerely desire the best for them. Be sincere. Truth is, people have a way of knowing if you're faking it. Put in more than enough life and importance to fill each duty. Always give your very best. But do not be servile, Never be flunky. And above all things, avoid the intellectual prostitution which is the vice of our time in many professions. What I mean by this term is being a hired defender of immorality, dishonesty, or vice in any form. I throw a glance at Ronald, who avoids my eyes. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. The intellectual prostitute may profit from the deal, but he's a lost soul, a true loser. Respect yourself. Be just to all. Put life into every act and thought. Promotion will come as soon as you can more than fill your current place every day. It is the law that whosoever more than fills his current situation must get ahead. I want to finish with a piece of advice, which I believe is one of the most crucial. For this law to work, it is not enough that you merely put this surplus life into your business relations. You will not advance as far if you're a good business person or employee, but a bad husband or unjust father or unworthy friend. Your failure in these aspects will make you incapable of using your success for the advancement of life. Many people who fulfill the law in business are prevented from progressing because they are unkind to their spouse or deficient in some other aspect of their life. To take advantage of the evolutionary force, you must more than fill every existing relationship. Let me give you an example from the past time. A phone operator wanted to leave his job and have his own farm. He began to move in that direction by being good to his wife. He courted her without any reference to his project, and from being indifferent, she became attentive and eager to help. So they had a little farm on the edge of town, and she raised poultry and tended a garden while he took care of the cattle. Now they have a farm, and he has realized his dream. You too can win the cooperation, not only of your spouse, but all the people around you by putting life and attention into all your relations with them. Put into every relationship, business, domestic, or social, more than enough life to fill it. Have faith, which I call active power consciousness. Know what you want in the future, but achieve today the very best you can today. Never be satisfied with less than the very best, but don't waste energy on desiring what is not merited now. Use all things for the advancement of life for yourself and for all with whom you are related in any way. Follow these principles, and you cannot fail to get what you want, for the universe is constructed in such a way that things must work together for your good. They applaud me as I wind up. Wow, that was really a lengthy one. But then, this is the final lesson we're having. I had to put in everything because we will not be meeting again for such instructions. We have come to the last lesson, and I'm happy to have done this with you. You will still go on with your training with the elves. Now it is time to prepare your very best personal project for the final session. As you all know, you have received points for every task you achieved earlier on. This last would, however, be your biggest piece of work. I want you to assimilate everything we have discussed, everything you have learned, and carry out your very personal and most honest project. Put all your skills and effort and fill your ultimate task with more than enough life. This would be your final and only chance. Now, go ahead and prepare it. I wish you the best of luck. I turn to the cameras. If you have been with us from the beginning, you know how this works. You also have come a long way with us. I want you to prepare a final project from all you have learned. Also, answer the questions on your list as you organize your project. 100 of the best blueprints sent will be fully supported by us. Whatever plan you have, no matter how silly it may seem, send it to us. And if you're lucky to be among the winners, we will support it. Good luck. I take a deep breath as I leave. They had been, well, good. And I'm so relieved to be done with these lessons. I have never been a fan of the limelight, and I am glad to be back in the shadows once again, at least for now. It is close, just at hand, the final ceremony, and I think I am more excited for what is to come. Key takeaways. Now it is time to prepare your very best personal project. Assimilate everything we have discussed, everything you have learned, and carry out a mind-blowing project. Put in all your work and effort and fill your ultimate task with more than enough life. Be the next hero.
The very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. Wallace D. Wattles.
For more information visit www.thebattles.xyz. Available on Amazon.